There we go. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Ring Show. It's been a minute. I feel like it's been forever, although it's only been like 2 weeks. But I am so sorry, guys, for ditching you. A break is a break, and I took it, and I feel great. But so obviously you didn't come and hear me talk. You came to hear our guest. Well, let's give a warm welcome to Zack Xander.
Hello, hi there. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course, you are first guest back on after my break, so it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I could be the first guest back.
No, yeah, I mean it was pretty quick. I sent the DM and then you were like, "Yeah, I'll come on." So it's cool.
Easy as that.
So I always start with who or what got you into wrestling.
That's a really great question. So the backstory of how I got into wrestling. It's not this really big like, oh, I watched it with my family. No, I mean, I was a kid. I think I was about like 6 years old, and I remember it was a episode of Monday Night Raw. I was just flipping through the TV, and as a kid, just has the remote, flipping through the TV, and I remember I saw this episode of Raw, specifically the segment with Edge and I believe Vicky Guerrero.
Okay.
Now, I don't remember the specifics of it, but I remember just seeing them in the ring at that arena and just everyone surrounding them. And I said, "Yo, that's pretty cool, man. I'm with that. I'm with that. I want to see more of this." And
Yeah.
I kept watching.
So was that like your moment that you were like, "Okay, I want to do this," or was there a different time that made you think, "Okay, I'm definitely going to do this?"
No, I don't think that was the moment in particular where I was like, I want to do this. I mean, that was the introduction of like how I saw it. Honestly, I don't remember necessarily. And to give the lame answer, I guess I don't necessarily remember how or the moment I was like, all right, I want to do this. This is something
Yeah.
like I want to do. One of the first memories I have where I knew I was like, I'm doing this. I remember I was like in the third grade and my two buddies at the time, they dressed up as like Triple H and Shawn Michaels for Halloween, and I dressed up as John Cena, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever! I want to do this!" Like, ah!
I mean, and I give you guys that because like growing up now, when I was in like first grade and kindergarten, I everyone thought like wrestling was weird. So I was like, yeah, let me not tell them I watch wrestling. But like so many people know about it and like it now, so I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, man, yeah, liking wrestling, especially when I was younger, it wasn't the popular thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the big cool thing. Um, but be able to express that feeling of liking it and being like, you know what, I don't care what you think. This is what I think, and this is kind of cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that even sticks to like wrestling now. Like some you'll have those people that like will try to crush your dreams, but you're like, who cares? Who cares what you think?
exactly.
Let me just continue doing what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The big argument nowadays is like, oh, wrestling's fake, right? I mean, yeah, but like, so is your favorite soap opera or your favorite movie, but you'll still watch it, right?
Exactly. And like that's a rant I can go on for so long. I'm like, okay, it's considered fake, but like you get act like the wrestlers actually get injured. They're actually doing like these moves.
Yeah.
That's not fake.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I'm feeling it. Trust me, I'm feeling it.
Definitely. So we have the We Like Wrestling podcast waving.
Yes, sir.
I am definitely a huge fan of them. They are one that always helps me and I always help them. So we locked in. But
Yes. Oh yes.
our next question is who trained you or trains you?
That's a great question. Okay, so I started my professional training back in 2019. I started training with this guy. His name is Yankee TDM. He's a New York guy, a New Jersey guy. He travels around. Started training with him for a little bit. Yankee then introduced me into a promotion called ECPW, ran by Gino Caruso. I
Mm-hmm.
met him in September of 2021. I trained with Gino a little bit, but New Jersey's about 2 hours away from where I am. And it was
Yeah.
just a little far for me to get out there. So, I stopped going to Gino's. And at that point, I was just sort of looking around, taking seminars, doing classes. Um, like I did a seminar, or I did a class with Alpha Junior. I did a seminar with Doc Gallows. grabbed advice from Bob Backlund until I eventually ran into this place called the Sanctuary, which the Sanctuary is a professional stunt studio and they run stunt fighting. And I've been with them since June of 2022, and I've been with those guys a little over a year now, and it's been my home, and it's a fantastic place to be at. I've done so many incredible things, met some amazing people. I met Colby Carino from the Sanctuary. I've met people like Jamie Senegal who over at the Sanctuary. She's on Impact, I believe. Well, she's been doing Impact. I'm not sure if she's there now. And Sanctuary's opened so many doors for me, and it's allowed me to run wild, and it's been a blast.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we're in almost like the same area because the sanctuary is only like 15 minutes from me.
Oh
But
yeah,
I think that's definitely like a starter. It's definitely somewhere to start. And like you said, Alpha. I love Alpha, and I would totally train with him.
right.
But it's like 2 hours, or not 2 hours, like an hour and a half from my house. I'm like,
Oh, that's fair.
yeah.
That's
So
definitely fair.
I would definitely say the sanctuary. I've been to a couple shows. It's not my style of wrestling that I
Oh, that's
prefer,
understandable.
but
Yeah.
it's cool. It's definitely like a starter, and then like they move on to bigger shows. Like I'm sure you wrestle for Smash Wrestling, right?
Yes, Smash Master Wrestling.
And
Yes.
you do a lot there. Has like did your character change from being at the Sanctuary to Smash, or is it like has there been a progression?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's changed, though I would say there's definitely been progress with the character of who I am. Now I'm just in that stage of trying to find myself, trying to figure out who I
Yeah.
am, what I want to do. And I've been on a fantastic ride with Smash Master Wrestling as of late. And, being with the crew that we're with, the people that we're surrounded by, it's great to be there, and I'm super happy to get to take part in that and to help tell their story as well as let them help create mine.
No, most definitely. Like that's a show I always tell myself that I'm gonna go to, and then I like something comes up, like I got work or something, and Rosh is always like, "Girl, what is happening? You say you
You
come
gotta
in."
come out. You gotta come out.
Definitely, I see the pictures and the videos all the time. Of like, it's definitely different than like my typical shows. Like it's outside
Yeah,
too, so that makes it even better.
yeah, oh yeah. Getting to take part in that, it's great. It's fun. It's an experience like no other. BPW is great. PPW is great. However, there ain't no party like a Smash party, and Smash knows how to party.
Exactly. I think that's gonna be like my new show that I'll go to. Smash and BPW.
Yeah, hey, there you go. Venture out, branch out, take a
Right?
look.
Exactly. So if people don't know, are you more of a heel or a face?
That's fair. I mean, so far I've been a lot more of a baby face. I'm what can I say? I'm a people person. I love seeing people getting out there and to see the reaction and to hear the noise and to feel the energy. As generic and as hokey as it sounds, it really does bring a mass difference of energy, and
No,
it's
yeah.
just so much better to hear people on your side, and I love it. I love that feeling.
No, yeah. I mean, a lot of times people are always like, it's only like the wrestlers that put in the work. Like, no, like if you didn't have the fans, you wouldn't have a show.
That's right.
So
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
definitely. So what would you say is like the hardest part about wrestling for you?
The hardest part about wrestling for me, it's as much of a mental struggle as it is a physical struggle.
Yeah.
Spending that time away from your family and not seeing your friends and not living, I guess, that normal lifestyle, as people like to put it. I have nieces and nephews. I don't get to see them. They're only little kids, and I want to be there for them more. But at the same time, everyone thankfully has been super supportive, and
Yeah.
they realize that this dream that I have is something that I have to take up now, or it's not. It's just never gonna happen. Um, and they've been. I'm so happy everyone's been supportive of that. But not seeing my friends, not seeing my family, that would, to me at least, have to be the biggest struggle of this wrestling stuff.
No, yeah, most definitely. Like, especially, and if you get like signed to like one of the bigger shows like WWE or AEW, that's even more time
Exactly.
away from them. So it's like it's set, and you have to like think it through before you actually commit to the wrestling thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all struggle. But the end goal is hopefully one day is gonna be worth it.
Exactly. So, like, speaking of WWE and AEW, if you got offered them at the exact same time, which one would you take? You could only pick one.
Ooh. Ooh, hit asking the hard hitting questions. I don't know. I don't know. Both are really good for two different reasons.
Yeah.
AEW has more of that hardcore fan base where like they'll know and they'll understand who you are and what you've done. But WWE has more of that exposure. So it goes down to which point do you play? I guess I'd have to go with AEW if I got offered the contract. Um, just because people would know, like, if I do get big enough and famous enough, people would know, like, oh hey, that's that Zack Xander guy. Yeah, I've seen him before. All right, that kid's kind of cool. And yeah, that probably have to be the way I'd have to go with it.
No, yeah, and I think like that's the cool thing, especially like with AEW, is because you see like so many familiar like indie faces go on there, and it's like, oh my god, I've seen that person before, or I remember him. I got a picture with him.
Right?
So
Exactly.
I like that happened with Action Andretti. He's more of the indie scene guy, and now that he was on there for some time, I still never got a picture with him. So I'm like, oh, I know that guy, but I never got a picture.
No, that's fair. I mean, I know Action Andrade's been doing a lot of like I know he does a lot of PPW and that stuff. So yeah, no, I mean that's great seeing local guys moving up and going to those bigger promotions and getting those contracts and doing their thing. That's awesome.
No, yeah, most definitely. So you said the hardest part. What would you, obviously, other than the people and the fans, what would you say is your favorite part besides people
Just just seeing everybody really.
or just
These
people? And
are these are great questions. They're making me think. So it's not. I just want to let you know, like it's not a side like oh it's this question. No, it's a real brain thinker. But no, I think seeing everyone. I think uh being surrounded by the people and the environment of your locker room is a really cool thing because like
yeah,
if you're going to a show and like you made friends with this one person at this one show, seeing them like you hadn't seen them for a little while and then they're at this show and it's like oh my goodness I wasn't expecting you here and like getting to catch up reminisce,
no,
seeing those
yeah.
people, that's a fun feeling.
No,
And just
definitely. Like, and I used to say all the time, it's kind of like a family reunion because, like, you see these people and,
exactly.
like, you grow that bond with them. They become more like your family. And, like, you don't get to see them all the time. But when you see them that one time in that 1 month, you'll be like, oh my God, how are you? Feel me?
Right, and like like if you talk to them on socials but like you just don't get to see them, and I think it's just that much more cooler.
No, yeah, most definitely. And I have to give another podcast a shout out. We're giving Anthony Blackwell, ABJ.
Oh my man ABJ, everybody loves ABJ.
That's what he said, hands down his favorite. He's
Gotta tip the hat to old Anthony
I
there.
can definitely say he was another reason why I started this podcast. So
Good,
those two
good.
are my favorite.
Yes.
So if a fan came up to you and was like, I want to do exactly what you're doing, what advice would you give them?
The best advice that I can give anyone who wants to be a wrestler, excuse me, the best advice I can give to anyone who wants to be a wrestler, firstly, I would say don't. No, I'm joking. But no, I'd say, if you have the feeling of like if you're certain about this is how you want to go, the best thing I could tell someone is to do it. Uh, and make that full commitment to it. Do research into it, look into things, see where you want to go, figure out what you want to do with yourself. And once you find out all of those things, then really commit to it. Figure out how you want to do everything. Make sure you can get your foot through the door and make sure you can find the right people and make sure you have some good friends to have your back. Because this is going to be a long and tough journey, but it's going to be so worth it in the end.
No, yeah, and that's what I was gonna say as well. I don't know. I think it would be a major thing for me, but I think you'd have to be in the right like mindset throughout the whole journey. And if you ever hit
Oh,
that
yeah.
time where you're like, this is not my thing, then you just take a break and you just come
Yeah.
back or do your thing. So
Yeah, no, I mean, with wrestling, like we talked about earlier, there's definitely a lot of a mental struggle, but
yeah,
you shouldn't let that be the thing to deter you away from it. If anything, you should let it grow and prosper. Well, not the mental struggle, but like, you know, you
I
should
was gonna
take,
say it
you know
depends
what
on
I
like the
mean?
circumstances.
Yeah, no, you should definitely let those dreams grow, and always let those dreams get bigger. Another thing I could tell someone who wants to get started in this business, once you find a place, don't get comfortable. If you can go bigger, go bigger. If you can go harder, go harder. Do everything you got to do to get yourself to where you want to be. And then once you're at where you want to be, find something bigger.
Exactly. I love that whole do not get comfortable somewhere because that's how it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Def-
definitely.
no, yeah. So we have my dad in the chat, obviously chanting your name because he's our hype man up in the chat.
What's up, Dad? How you doing out there? You having fun?
Probably not because he's at work.
Oh, well, all right, Dad. Hopefully this podcast can make work a little bit better for you tonight.
And then we have Anthony Blackwell saying new shirt is being made right now. Hint, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. So
Okay, okay. I see you, Anthony. I see you. Right.
right. So do you have like a dream venue or a dream place to you wish to wrestle in before you call it quits?
I
Forever?
mean, that's fair. I don't think I have a big place. I mean, I'd love to wrestle at the 2300 arena down in Philly, being a native Pennsylvanian. That'd be a big thing for me.
Oh
Um
yeah.
I'd love to wrestle at a coliseum. I'm not sure which one, just any coliseum. Um, just because I think coliseums are one of the best looking venues and one of the prettiest buildings out there. And really, I just want to wrestle anywhere and everywhere. I think that's the big goal.
No, yeah, I get it. And like the one that you just said, the Coliseum one, it was like funny because they reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I want you at one of our shows, like to do like because I run a little table for kids to make posters because like
Okay.
that was my
Yeah.
thing." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, definitely, we'll make it to a show." And like then I got so busy and then I was sick and I was like, "Oh man, I can't catch a break."
No, that's how they'll get you. That's how life will get you.
No, yeah. I like there's the good thing about wrestling is there's a show every single weekend. So it's like
Right?
if you miss one show, you could always go to another one, but it's like you gotta pick and choose.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Again, like we talked about earlier, it's about finding your cup of tea. The great thing about professional wrestling is that it's an art, and there's not going to be just one specific style that someone likes, because it's so open and there's such a wide variety of things. um, and yeah, pick and choose. If you want to be at this place, then go for it.
No,
Absolutely, why
yeah.
not?
I like that's the good thing that you kind of like mentioned about all these like promotions like BPW and like PPW. They all have their own like styles. Like for me, that's what I do. I pick and choose. I'm like, well, this one has a lot of my favorite people, but this one has like a good storyline and like Smash. I absolutely love like I always see the storylines building. I always see like the back and forth on like the social media. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's cool that they all have their own style.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It's a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
No, yeah, I see it all the time. Like especially Adina, I love her so much, but she's been killing it.
She has. Adina's cool. Adina's a really cool person. I enjoy hanging out with Adina.
Yeah,
She's been very nice, and that's something I'll give a whole lot of the Smash Master crew. They've been some of the coolest people I've met. They hadn't done me
yeah,
any dirty. But that last show, I think you're going. I don't know. I mean, once it goes up, you'll see. You'll see something.
definitely. So, is there anything you specifically do before you come out the curtain, or is it kind of like, okay, I'm here, let's go?
I think it's just that, I gotta get myself in a specific headspace. I gotta get that mind going. I gotta get my adrenaline pumping. Um, I do a lot of jumps. So usually I'll just start swinging my arm around. It's gonna sound real weird, but usually I'll start swinging my arm around. I'll just jump. I'll get my blood moving, get that adrenaline going, so I can get that feeling in my body. And then when I hit that curtain, it's just a big ball of energy that goes out.
Yeah, so you technically do have a routine. It's not just I go out and be like, yeah, I'm here. So you do a little warm up. You get your
A
head in
little
the
warm up, small warm up, just enough to get the blood moving and just to let everything hang.
yeah, and get in the right mindset, obviously.
Exactly.
So has there ever been like a venue that you wrestled in? You were like, I really like this place, and I will wrestle here anytime I get the opportunity. Other than Smash.
No, that's fair. Smash goes to quite a few venues. The sanctuary is a beautiful building. Like you said, I know it's not your cup of tea, but it's a beautiful building, a fantastic atmosphere, and they're big with like energy and that kind of stuff. So there's a good place that I'd like to wrestle at. I did a show with Chosen Pro Wrestling. They're a ton of a ton of fantastic people over there, and I'd love to go back at some point and to get my foot through the door over there. Ton of nice people. Love meeting a lot of those faces, seeing people, and that's a place I'd love to go back to. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. Yeah. Grimm's Toy Show is fun. Like going over to Grimm's. Grimm's is awesome. I've had a lot of fun over there the past couple times I've been there. So I'd love to go back to Grimm's if I could.
Yeah. And like that's another one that's like a lot of indies wrestlers are now going to. I'm like, oh my god, they were in Grimm. I remember my parents used to be such like Grimm fans, and I was like, oh my god, look, I know that face.
Right? Oh yeah, absolutely. No, Grimm's is awesome. The past few times I've been over there, nothing but nice people, nothing but kindness. Absolutely love my time over there. Beautiful place too.
No, most definitely. And like it had another thing like that is definitely a must in wrestling is like the relationship that we kind of like mentioned on. Like you have to be welcomed and accepted into where you go. You're not just gonna go and go to a place that you're not welcome.
Right.
You
Yeah.
gotta be accepted. They gotta accept you and be like, okay, we understand you're here, acknowledge you. Yeah.
The best way I could put it is if we vibe, we're cool. I'm pretty easy to vibe with, truth be told. I think I'm easy to vibe with. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully. But
No.
I think that's the big thing in wrestling. Everyone just wants to vibe, just wants to hang. This is all something we love to do.
Yeah,
And this is just the thing we
definitely.
like to get together for. And I'm with it. As long as we vibe, we're cool.
Exactly. So have you ever had any injuries yet, or you're kind of on the lucky side and haven't had as many?
I definitely say I'm on the lucky side. I mean, I'm feeling it. I I, I wouldn't say I'm injured, but I mean, I'd say I'm on the lucky side. I don't think I've necessarily been injured just yet. I hadn't had anything severe. I think one time I broke my pinky, but like that was it. Um, I just remember I was at the sanctuary. I did a stunt fight against this guy named Vince Torres and Prince Ahmed, and 1 second my pinky was fine. I think a German suplex, and then I looked at my pinky, and then it was all black and blue, and I said, "Oh, that is not fine."
Most casually, like, oh, that's not okay.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this kind of hurts. Oh,
A
oh,
little bit.
a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe we should knock on wood as well and be like, let's not
Yeah, right.
jinx you
Let's
now
not.
because I said that.
Yeah, no, good call, good call, good thinking.
Definitely. So how do you feel about like intergender wrestling? Like you're all for it, male versus female?
Yeah, I definitely think I am for it. I think that some of these ladies hit just as hard, if not harder, than some of these guys do. I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest guy. I know I don't got necessarily the strongest hits, and I've seen a lot of females hit a lot harder than I can, and that's a fact. But I mean, there's guys who like base their whole thing around it. There's this guy, I don't know if you know, but he's the creamy weirdo Stan Styles.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay, so you do know Stan.
Yup.
Stan Styles runs these shows, and I believe they're called the Intergender Bonanza. I believe that's how it's what it's called over there.
Yep.
And he's done quite a few of these, and that's something I'd like to take a part of. Dip my toes in.
I swear he's definitely a vibe, and like when I had him on the podcast, I was like, I can't take you seriously.
No, that's fair. Stan Styles, man. Oh, him and that whipped cream, and he's something else. He is something else.
I mean, the amount of whipped cream that man probably purchases, these stores are probably like, are you okay? Like, what do you do with it?
It they gotta think he's got some sort of addiction to whipped cream, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, he just goes to like Wise or Boyers and just be like, okay, I'm taking all your whipped cream.
all of it.
Not just one, all of it.
All of it, taking the whole shelf, right?
Yeah.
Going to several stores. It's not just one store; it's multiple stores, and he's just buying all the whipped cream, and that's very Stan Styles of him, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the whipped cream and that shaker thing. I like he had it
Look,
on here. I'm like, get out of here! I can't do this.
that's fair.
He's definitely really fun though. He's a fun person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like Stan Styles. Stan Styles is cool. I mean, the whipped cream stuff's kind of weird, but you know, Stan Styles is cool.
I know. I gotta ask him again. How did like the whole whipped cream thing kind of like? How did you just one day be like, oh, whipped cream and wrestling? Yeah, that goes great.
That works. I guess I'm not sure how he came up with it, but I mean, that have to be it, right? I could see no other way.
Have you ever had a match against Stan Styles?
I've never wrestled Stan Styles.
I was gonna say. I mean,
I've shared locker rooms with him. I've seen him fill up kiddie pools full of whipped cream. He spends a good like 30 minutes to an hour doing it by himself. But Stan Styles will sit there and fill up those kiddie pools, and he'll do his thing.
Right? Can you just imagine like walking through like in the what you just said, the
Locker rooms, all the
the
hallways.
locker room, and
there
just
it
be like, do you need help? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just.
Oh, it's good. He's good. I've asked him one time. He said he was good. He insisted actually upon doing it himself. So.
All right, you don't gotta ask me twice. I mean, like, I feel bad for whoever wrestles him though, because they probably like get really sticky and they're like, I gotta go shower. I can't do this.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Especially Adina, because I know Adina and Stan, they had their thing.
They did. Over at one of the Smash shows, the one at the drive-in theater.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they had their match, and that was an instance where there was a kiddie pool full of whipped cream.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild.
So switching the topic, how do you feel about like hardcore death style matches, like weapons, blood?
You know, I'm not the craziest on it. But I think it's like what you said earlier. It's just not my cup of tea. I think there's a time and a place for it. I think if the circumstances call for it, then absolutely, go hardcore. Deathmatch wrestling isn't my taste. It isn't in my forte. But I mean, I'm not opposed to a little bit of hardcore wrestling. If I gotta get down and dirty with it, I guess I can get down and dirty with it.
And like that's the thing I think about wrestling. Like wrestling has its styles, but I think wrestlers also like you can look at someone and be like, yeah, that's a baby face or that's a heel, or it could like be the biggest switch and be like, yeah, they're not.
Oh yeah.
But I was definitely
like that's not who I think that is. like you think it'd be like, oh, this guy's gonna be a good guy, and then he's not a good guy. And it's like, well,
yeah, I like that. Like Stan Styles, he can go either way. He could go as a heel or he could go as a face.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People definitely have their looks. Like you, I was like, yeah, he definitely is a baby face. There's no way that he's a heel.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's no surprise. But I mean, hey, people fire you up. You gotta go with the flow, roll with the punches, you know?
No, yeah, definitely. So
get out there, go a little full boogie tilt on them.
Yeah. Yep. So do you have merch?
What was that?
Do you have merch?
I do have merch. I have 8x10s. I have T-shirts. Recently I got badges. And those were gifted to me by some incredible people. Fortunately, didn't get their socials, so I'm not able to give them the proper plug that they deserve.
Wow.
However, um, truly, like some of the best fans, I just came through. They're like, listen, I just want to give you these, and I think these are cool for you to sell. And they handed me a ton of
Yeah.
badges, and it was like one of the most heartfelt moments. Just because I wasn't expecting to go in that day, and for them to give those to me, and I'm like, this is amazing. Thank you. Um, and no, truly love them. I just wish I was able to grab their socials and that stuff. They said they didn't want anything out of it, which I could respect and I could commend. But I wish I was able to give them so much more, because they truly deserved it. But yeah, no, t-shirts, 8x10s, badges, and I'm looking to get some more stuff to come through soon. But we're starting off a little small. We're gonna work our way up there.
I think another merch that we need, and I tell every wrestler, and none of them ever make it, is I don't know about everyone else, but I love leggings, and if I had like anybody's merch that had like that was on leggings, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna wear these all the time.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think anyone's ever thought of leggings.
Exactly. So like you could just put on like the pant leg your name or like your logo, and that'll
Right?
work.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. No, that
Exactly.
definitely would. Oh,
hmm
oh, oh! I didn't even think of that. That's smart thinking right there.
So if people want to purchase that merch, is it only at shows or is there a website?
Well, the 8x10s and the badges, unfortunately, they are only at shows. However, I do have a pro wrestling tees, prowrestlingtees.com/Zack Xander, I believe is the link where you can grab some Zack Xander t-shirts. Um, and hopefully I'll add some more stuff to that website soon. But, if you do want to grab some t-shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/Zack Xander, that's the place you want to get it.
Or I'm sure, and another way they could easily just DM you and be like, I want this.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
They could.
definitely.
So is there any upcoming shows in like the next couple weeks you'll be at? And
Yeah,
if
you
so,
know what?
where?
Ooh, that's a great question. There are a couple shows I'm gonna be at. I'm not announced, but I will be attending High Tension Wrestling's show upcoming this weekend, Saturday the 12th, I believe. I'll be there. And then I know I got a couple weeks off in August, so I'm trying to remember everything that I gotta do. But I
Wow,
do
you're
know.
such a great wrestler. You don't even know your show
I
days.
know, right? I know. The best. The best.
Yep.
No, I'll be back over at the sanctuary Sunday, August 20th, I believe is the date. Let me double check here. I got it written down on my computer, which is just behind me. I know that I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll be back over at the sanctuary Sunday, August 20th. I'll be there. And then Smash Master Wrestling comes back September 2nd for their Smash Mountain tournament over at the Civic Troop Center or the Troop Civic Center. And I'm looking to take part in that. I know it's a big tournament for all these young guys. Well, I mean, kind of just won a main event match over at Smash Master Wrestling recently over at the Susquehanna Brewery. I think I'd like to get my dip my toes in there. I think I'd love to get take a part of that.
Okay. So see guys, you just gotta go to these shows. And I'm sure he posts them on his like Instagram story because he can't remember them all clearly.
That's fair. Yeah, I will. As soon as I
Last
see the flyer, it's like I'm on there. I gotta go.
hold on, let me share this. I think I'm there.
I think I'm there. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
might be.
Maybe not. I'm still just
Maybe
gonna
I don't
share it.
know. But go anyways. Go anyways. Even if I'm not there, go to these shows.
Exactly. So lastly and most importantly, where can they find you on social media?
That's a great question. Instagram. I'll go ahead. Just look me up. I'll be Zack.Xander1. Twitter, I believe I'm Zack_Xander1. And I believe that's really it. I don't have a Facebook page. unfortunately. But Instagram and Twitter is the best place to find me. Specifically, Instagram. I'm a lot more active there than I am on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
And so you don't got no TikTok?
No, I don't. I'm not a big TikTok guy. I know. I gotta get with it. I gotta get with it with these kids. I'm not. I'm not there.
These kids. I'm sure you are not that older. Don't make yourself sound like 50 now. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for coming on. It was definitely a short plan and it worked out great. It was
No,
fun.
I agree. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me. I'd love to do it again.
Of course. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you're clicking the link down below to give him a follow because he's a good person. He's a great wrestler.
Thank you. Thank you.
But thank you all so much, and I will be back at 8 o'clock with another guest. So stay tuned. Bye.